Meeting to order, 7 p.m. Looks like we have 6 board members present. Tim is not feeling well and is not here. Let's begin the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you would all join us. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Play ball. An agenda was sent to each board member. Did anybody?
Mr. President, I move we accept the agenda as presented.
Second.
Been moved and seconded we accept the agenda. All those in favor raise your right hand. Passes 6-0. The consent agenda was also sent to you. Many items on there. Any questions, concerns?
I just didn't see the one that was TA'd, so can we look at it first?
Yes, take
Sure.
a couple of minutes to look at it, because we just got that on.
Okay, because I was trying to find it.
Because it just got on like 10 minutes ago.
In fact, I hadn't seen it on here.
So you can tell I read my board packet.
The
Well, I
memorandum
don't
of
see
understanding
anything
for
that's
Article 9, 3.04.
It would be,
There was an attachment.
No,
it would be
3.04.
item
Yep.
3.04.
There you go, 304.
There you go.
You might have to refresh.
Oh, I read it.
Didn't understand it.
No.
It's in regard,
Oh, yeah.
The OEA.
It just didn't
board.
have the text, I mean, but I knew,
right, this is just to make our
Yeah.
calendar work. And
yes.
teachers will have to ratify this, but we are, since we've TA'd, we're going to vote on it later on in the meeting. Or to
Absolutely.
accept the calendar. Well, and it was,
Mr. President, I move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
okay.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded we accept the consent agenda. Is there any further discussion? If not, all those in favor raise your right hand. Passes 6-0. We have nobody signed up to comment from the public, which is a huge disappointment to me. But we do have some folks from communities and schools that are here. Rachel Smith and Jamie Kiter. Am I saying that right? Kiter? Okay, if you guys want to step up here and address the board, we would be tickled, absolutely tickled.
How much time do you have? No kidding.
Hour and 45 is all.
Jamie, this is a quiz. How long did Dr. Stroh tell you you have?
KU's done playing basketball, so we got all time.
Oh.
They technically didn't play basketball this week.
Yeah, that's right.
Wichita State was technically more passionate than the team.
True.
So without further ado.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you so much for USD290 School Board being supportive of communities and schools over the years and continuing to support the activities of communities and schools. It's been, I've been serving on the board for 6 years. I want to thank Russ Testor for coming tonight. He's our board chair currently. But serving now as the executive director, lots of new things come to light, and it's still very exciting. We have lots of updates this year. I have 4 new staff members serving as site coordinators in the buildings, and for the first time we have a person actually in each USD 290 school building. 2 full-time site coordinators, one at the middle school and one at the high school, and they are part of a TANF grant through DCF of the state of Kansas, and that helps fund their full-time positions there at the middle school and the high school. And then we have 3 part-time elementary site coordinators, 1 at each building. All of them are working very well together and working hard towards the goals we've established for communities and schools and meeting the requirements that we have to have for our total quality system standards that are part of the requirements for communities and schools to be measurable. So it's going very well. Just wanted to kind of let you know, with our broad-based programs, we're required to serve 75% of the school body. We have over 50 programs that help serve 100% of our USD 290 school students, or very nearly close to it, if they're absent or not in the room at the time or not there that day. But very nearly, we have a grade level program for every single grade. So it's very exciting to be able to do that. And kind of, we looked at it, and over in the past had about 30 programs, and I counted today, and it was well over 50. So it was really exciting to see the work that's being done in each of our buildings. Those broad-based programs are things like Senior Day on the Job, bike safety, groups, small groups of students working towards goals or life skills. One of the main parts of communities and schools, which is the heart of it, is our one-on-one relationships with students. And our site coordinators are placed in the buildings, and they're required to manage 10% of the building when they're full-time staff. So at the middle school, for example, they're case managing 65 students, at the high school 75 students. Each of those students has a case plan put in place, and we have to show measurable outcomes and progress as they go throughout the year. So that's where we provide those services. Just for food for thought, I ran the report today to see how many touches that our students had received. That 10%, about 200 students were touching, and the report showed that the 5 site coordinators, those students had been served by site coordinators, community members, mentors, volunteers, 4,500 times. So it's pretty amazing that we have documented in the system 4,500 touches to our students at USD290. It's pretty amazing, and very, very grateful for the opportunity that we can help serve our students. With each of the students that we serve, we're focusing on academics, attendance, and behavior. So all of their goals are tried to meet 1 to 3 of those outcomes, and all of the programs we put in place for that student is to meet 1 to 3 of those outcomes. So as each of the site coordinators meet with a student, that's what they're monitoring, and it may be that they're checking in and getting a snack, or it may be that they're looking at their goals, or it may be that they're needing shoes or clothes or mental health services, dental, all those types of things that we can help provide. I want to share a couple of success stories that we've had throughout the year and some things that were exciting. We are always looking at our population. It's pretty transient. We have, as a record on our last report, about 130 homeless students in our district, and we're also dealing with food scarcity. So we put out messages about snacks and food that we need. Over the Christmas holiday, several churches and the university got together, and they provided 45 meals to families in our community in need that we contacted, and they said, yes, please, we would like a meal delivered. That would really help us out of the holidays. We have had snacks coming in from individuals, businesses, churches, civic groups. And for example, the high school might go through 15 boxes of granola bars in a week. And that students, they're even limited. They can only get 1 a day, but some of them are not receiving meals at home. So we're really thankful for our community, really surrounding our students with a community of support, which is the whole purpose of communities and schools. We received unexpected funding over the holidays as well from different civic organizations, and one really exciting thing I thought we put out on Facebook that the middle school was needing instruments or donations to help fund scholarships for students for their instrument rental, and we got a $2,000 anonymous donation to fund instruments, and Mr. Buckett has been able to use that all year for those students. So that was really exciting to have somebody step forward and say, you know, why they wanted to fund student scholarships for music and our fine arts. Couple of stories that have really been an instrument. I feel like they really show what communities and schools can do. We had a student who was chronically late to first hour, and working with the administration and the SRO trying to figure out why the student just couldn't get to class. And we found out that he was hearing impaired and he wasn't waking up to his alarm. And so we were able to purchase an alarm for the hearing impaired. It has lights and and it makes noise, but it also has a vibrating pad that wakes him up in the morning so he can get to school. The same student also has had extensive dental work. He had a cleft palate as a child that was repaired once probably, but not the twice that at least a cleft palate often needs, and his teeth he has multiple sets of teeth, and so Dr. Burks has decided to help correct his mouth. So things that students are dealing with on a daily basis. You think about how bad a toothache feels, that we don't always understand the difficulties you can have just concentrating in the classroom for several things like that. We had some middle school girls that lived about 20 blocks away from the school, and they were chronically late to school again. And of course, when the students are late, they're getting in-school suspension, and then they're getting out-of-school suspension, and just couldn't seem to get to school. And the parents weren't responding, and working with the administrations and the counselors and the parents, and got the girls some bikes. At least they could bike because it's 20 blocks. You have to get up really early, and nobody wants to do that and trudge to school. And then we were also able to get permission for them to have transportation so they can go 7 blocks to the bus. So again, trying to help that truancy issue and get those students to school on time. We have another student at the high school that's struggling with grades and really just needed to find something that he could grasp onto. We were able to get him involved in wrestling, and it's turned his grades around, turned his attitude around, and through our replay program, we're able to scholarship him through the Mat Masters program. So those are a couple stories that have just been just a few of the many that we have success stories of communities and schools I wanted to share with you and say thank you again for your continued support and all that you do for communities and schools of Ottawa. We truly appreciate it, and our staff appreciates it. And I will let Jamie talk about the after-school program, which again has done great things this year in USD290.
Thank you. Good evening. Well, I'm here on a different note than I was, excuse me, about a year ago. If you remember, we had a $40,000 reduction on our grant last year. This year, about a month ago, I just received word that we are able to go, excuse me, apply for $75,000 supplemental grant for 15 and 16 summers. I have 2 grants. That means $150,000 for 2 years. That's pretty amazing. Wow. I'm going to take advantage of it. What our grant reviewers are looking for unique summer learning opportunities in which these opportunities might not be readily available to students and staff. So they could be, they gave us a list of areas of where we could use the grant from. So they are remedial education and academic enrichment learning programs, STEM education, the arts, entrepreneurial and education, tutoring services and mentoring, sports and recreational activities, telecommunications and technology education, expanded library service hours, programs that promote parental involvement and family literacy, drug and violence prevention programs, counseling and character education, students who have been truant, suspended or expelled, and of course staff development. This go around of supplemental grants, we're focusing more on field trips. That way we don't have to worry about having a building per se to be used throughout the summer. We don't want to be in the way of maintenance or have to move over here when they're cleaning Garfield and come over here when they're cleaning Lincoln or whatever. Instead, our big picture for this grant are going to be several field trips and just a few activities that we need housed. For 15 and 16 summers, we are going to do, we would like to do, I should say, Worlds of Fun Thrill You Days, Crystal Theater Attendance Incentive. I talk really fast, so if you need me to slow down or you want me to explain something, just let me know. Schlitterbahn Water Park, they have a conservation, and of course it's recreation as well. So Cosmic Jump and Laser Tag, and Kansas City Zoo Safari Tours. In 2016 only, we're going to try to send the kids to 2 KC Culinary School camps, which are really cool. They were going to get to learn knife cuts, sauces, appetizers, the list goes on. It's really awesome. Wildwood Outdoor Educational Center, Kauffman Stadium Grand Slam Tour, tailgating and a game. Greenbush 3-day team building camp, where they will learn team building, self-confidence. They will have drug and violence in there, counseling and character education. We've been there before, and our staff and students wanted to go back. As soon as they got back, they were like, let's go again, and let's go for the 3-day instead of just the 2-day. So it's a 3-day camp. One of the cool things is they're going to do astronomy and astrophotography, and then they will do a little 1.5 days will be the Amazing Race, where they will be challenged on courses. They'll get to do zip line, they'll get to do canoeing, some things that maybe they won't have ever had the opportunity to experience. The Lead Center, we're going to take them to the summer performances, and then before or after, depending on when the time of the performance, we're going to take them to a dinner, and they're going to learn dinner etiquette. So we'll have K through 2 go, and we'll have 3 through 5 go. So can you imagine the K through 2 learning which fork is what? It's going to be hilarious. We have taken a kid. Olive Garden has been an amazing restaurant that we take them to, and the last time that we were there, they gave us kudos for how well the kids acted and how they were very interested in actually learning about it. So it was great. We're going to take them to a Lawrence ceramic shop, so that helps with the arts and the crafts and all that kind of good stuff, and they'll come away with a project. Another exciting one, because it's kind of close to my home turf, is the Kansas Cosmosphere and Kansas Underground Salt Museum. I am never been to the Salt Museum. Yeah, you get to ride the tram and everything. Do you want to be a chaperone? You can come. No.
Go all the way down in that hole? No.
Well, no. It's not for the skimmish, I guess.
Not for those of us who are claustrophobic.
Yeah, yeah. But some other areas where our grant will be funded is staff salary for the field trips and the preparations for the field trips, because the legwork for this grant and doing the field trips is almost 10 times as much as actually writing the grant. That's the easy part. Budgeting, accounting, reporting hours. We have bus fees and bus salary. We're going to do field trip T-shirts, and some field trips will require the kids to have a drawstring backpack so they can have their things, and that way we thought if we could do everybody matched and we would have them all uniform and we can pick someone's a stray, we know where they're at. Field trip snacks and waters, carts and coolers from when we go on field trips and we are bringing our own lunches and stuff like that. They're these collapsible carts from Sam's Club. They're amazing. I can't wait to get them. We are also going to go for providing paid staff who are interested, my staff who are interested in helping at DARE camps. So we'll help be able to pay those. Not all of them are volunteers, a lot of them are paid volunteers. And so I talked a little bit to Larrabee, and we're trying to work that one out still a little bit too. But that helps us get out into the community, and we'll be a sponsor for DARE. The Scholastic book packet, and I'll talk a little bit about those in just a minute. And we're trying to also work with the library to have paid tutors from OU and Neosho to help out during the summer. And let's see, I think that's about all. I will go ahead, and I do not have, well, for our staff development, we're going to also do a Greenbush. We would like to do a Greenbush trip because they have a team building and training that my staff can go through to help my staff expand their ideas and make our program stronger. And Mr. Happy, I don't know if any of you have seen him or not. He's a motivational speaker, and I've seen him at several conferences, and he's actually been to one of my program meetings that I have to go to every year down in Wichita, and he just pumps you up and gets ready, and I would love for him to come and talk to my staff and get us pumped up and ready to go for the beginning of the year. And Science in the Rockies, that is going to be an amazing STEM camp for my staff. We're going to try to go for 6 people to go, and if we do get to go, then we'll come back with $1,800 worth of enrichment activities for our kids to do, so that's pretty big. Right now, we are about $53,000 for each grant, totaling of $106,000. That does not include Mr. Happy, the Scholastic quotes, and Tim Sipe and I just spoke this morning, and he gave me more accurate bus funding. So as soon as I plug that all in, I'll have that. Oops, sorry. Mr. Happy and the Scholastic people have been to the week that we got out of for spring break. They were at a conference in DC, and then all last week they were out, so I haven't gotten their quotes back. But these literacy kits are going to be really good, and it fits into the parental involvement and family literacy. They will come with 3 award-winning books per each grade, and also with that, it comes with a parent guide to how to better teach your child to read. 3 ways I'd like to use these depending on the quote. I'd like to give 1 of these to each and every USD290 student from K through 5. If that quote's too much and it puts us over on our grant, I would like to then at least give these packets to all summer school kids. I think that's a great use of that. And if I can finagle it too, I would like to make this part of the library summer reading program too. So as soon as their quote comes in, I'll be able to figure out which way we're going to use those. So all in all, our funding without these will serve 560 students each summer. And if we get to purchase one of these for every kid, then it's over 1,100. So that's pretty amazing. So is there any questions that you have?
Well,
Just go ahead.
well, I was going. You are doing some food supports.
Excuse me?
Food supports. You're doing some of those for food deprived or.
Yeah, well, it's basically, we try and we have a storage of food that's been given to us, especially over the holidays, for students, in particular, the Weekend Warriors program, through the Harvesters. There's 150 students that receive a packet of food every weekend that are all elementary students. So there's 50 students at each elementary school that receive a packet to go home, and it's about 3 meals and snacks for the weekend. And then, since there's those students in the middle school and the high school are still food deprived, but there's no real program for them that we have right here. And a lot of them I've looked into are more about teaching them how to shop and how to cook. And so,
What is the
especially
short-
over
what is the
spring break.
shortfall when it comes to the food deprived?
What is what?
What is the shortfall? Is it just simply not having access to food, or is it?
Well, where we come in is our middle school students are not getting the support that they need in high school from home, and so it's hard for them to get to Hope House or sign up at ECAN. So there are some resources in this town, and we partner with those resources for sure and get those families. That's part of our job, is to get those families involved with those food resources. But when we've got students that are being left home alone, or there's no food at home, we try and send bags of food home with them, especially over spring break and Christmas, where they have long periods of time where there's no food. It just depends on the family what they're facing. But there are some food resources here in town. Hope House is, they're open limited times and you get limited supplies, but it's available. And then ECAN distributes once, and then Harvesters distributes once. I'm not sure the schedules on that.
COF has access to the Soup Kitchen Food Bank, which we use with some of our clients.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if there's a link that you guys, the hitch to it is it has to be a meal or something that's a prepared meal that's accessible, whether it be served somewhere in a location or something along those lines.
Okay.
So you might make contact with me at some point.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just trying to get those resources to families for sure. Any other questions?
Before you say no, if you're funding short, come back to us with a report on your books, on your literacy, for your reading.
Oh, okay.
Just don't say no.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hoping to use every single cent that they're going to give to us.
Give us a report back. 'Cause know
I will, and that's what I was going to say. As soon as I get the finals, before I submit it off, I'll send it over to Dr. Stroh and probably you, Melissa, and then she can distribute to you all what we're going to go for.
You just never know where funding might come from.
No?
And just a
Okay.
point of clarification, when you're talking about Mr. Happy, are you talking about Dennis George or somebody else?
Whoever you want it to be. No, yeah.
Always known Dennis as Mr. Happy, but
I've noticed, Dennis, they pick on you an awful lot.
They'll miss me after 12.
you better believe it. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Good work.
What's Mr. Happy's first name?
Jim Atkins. Jim Atkins. Yeah.
Didn't know a real Mr. Robert Happy.
Really?
Philip the Atkins diet. 5.02, board reports. Anybody have anything that they'd like to share with the remainder of the board? I was on spring break last week. I didn't do
I
anything.
just want to say, keep your support up for expansion of the Kansas solution to the ACA and expanding of CanCare. There's 158 supporters in Topeka, and the comment I have heard, it was the best presentation and action plan that's ever been done in a long time, and the opponents were all about the money and the nays, just nay, nay, nay. So keep up your support for the expansion, because it'd be worth over $800,000 for Ransom Memorial to support our community.
Certainly.
And then the other one is an observation during the less than motivated loss of KU this week, and having a father that was partly hearing impaired, he taught me how to read lips. I believe Mrs. Brownback did say, I don't know why they're booing us, because both sides are booing our governor. So if she needs some continuing education, we'd be glad to share them why they were being booed by Wichita State and KU fans.
I guarantee that Mary is not that naive.
But if you watch her lips on the video, it was there.
Yeah.
I'll email her and let her know
The
what.
week before spring break, I went to Topeka to rally, a Take Back Kansas rally. And I did stop by Senator Tyson's office and left a note on her desk asking her to please not do block grants, but she didn't listen to me, so,
She didn't listen to
oh
anybody.
well.
Because I asked her the same thing, and she didn't listen to me either.
Yeah.
And Linda, would you share your observation about coffee pots and refrigerators at the Capitol?
Oh, yes, I thought it was so interesting, considering that we had just asked all of our teachers to take away their refrigerators and coffee pots and any type of appliances to
Microwaves.
keep down microwaves, all that. I walked into Senator Tyson's office, and they have 2 administrative assistants there, and they both had dorm room size refrigerators and whatnot. And, you know, Senator Tyson has saved all this money by getting rid of outlets. Well, I was thinking, gosh, if she got rid of all the refrigerators at the State House, they could save maybe another little bundle of money. I might suggest that at the next coffee.
Thank you for that positive contribution. We do not have any policies, contracts, bids, estimates, agreements?
We do not.
All right. I believe
Yeah.
our executive session is needed for personnel,
Yes.
and I would, Linda, do you have a motion? 8.01?
I would like to move that the board go into executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel matters for non-elected personnel, and that the board return to the open meeting at
We need 20 minutes probably.
20 minutes. Okay,
Just make it
45.
7:45, that way everybody can go
Okay.
to the bathroom. In this room, the executive session is required to protect the privacy interests of an identifiable individual, and I would like Dr. Stroh to be,
And Dr.
and
Kraus.
Dr. Kraus to be
Second.
included.
It's been moved and seconded. We go into executive session for about 20 minutes. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Passes 6-0. We'll be back. Moved and seconded, we return to open session. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Passes, I think Jeannie voted too, passes 6-0. Did you vote?
I never vote.
It's now 7-0.
Except I will vote on April 7th.
You are going to? Good.
All right, it's, oh well.
We'll have to vote before then.
All right. No other executive sessions are needed, I don't believe. Personnel. We have a recommendation for administrators. I think you've all seen that.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the recommendation for administrators' contracts for 15 and 16.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we approve the contract recommendations for administrators as presented. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Passes 6-0.
Mr. President, do you want me to remove myself for the room for the next motion, or just abstain from the one person listed on that list? Scoot back.
Let's just have an abstention, if that's all right.
I just won't vote on that one.
Okay, okay.
Do you want to take them separately?
Yeah,
Let's
Okay.
spread hers out separately.
okay. So is there a motion for the contract recommendations for our directors, excluding Mrs. Terry George?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the contract recommendations for Dean Grail, Dale White, Tim Sipe. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Passes 6-0. Is there a motion in regards to Mrs. Terry George, Director of Finance?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved that we offer contract Ms. Terry George. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Passes 5-0, one abstention.
Oh, I wouldn't be an abstention, I just wasn't.
Didn't even see you.
Wasn't here. Wasn't here, didn't vote.
You're Mr. Happy, that's all I know. We have personnel report.
Mr. President, I move we accept the personnel report as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the personnel report as presented. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Passes 6-0. We're doing good on that part anyhow. And I believe that's all the voting we need to do this evening. Announcements.
On April 15th is the Chamber of Commerce Honors Banquet at the high school. So that'll be a big evening. And then I just want to take a couple of minutes. I've sent you information regarding Senate Bill 7, which is sitting on Governor Brownback's desk at this time. That's the block grant bill. I just want to make sure that everyone understands that in Section 72 of Senate Bill 7, it explains that for all bond issues that are passed before June 30th, 2015, the current state aid formula will continue. So for us, it's 42%. When our bond passes on April 7th, we will continue to get at least the 42%. Preliminary indications are that that would go up to 45%. For any bonds passed July 1st or after, then it goes with a new formula. And according to Dr. Neinswander, the Director of Finance at KSDE, he reported to me that for USD 290, state aid would drop to 27%. So it's critical that people get out and vote and make a decision for our students on April 7th.
That's $10 million on the current bond.
And that's why the time is now. It is now.
And just a little background information. I was talking to Troy from DLR, who's been working with Dodge City and a couple other districts, and they're moving their bond elections up from November to June. So we're very.
We're in the right time.
We're at the right time. Yes. So that's a critical issue that I'll be sending out more information to the public this week.
That
And
is-
you know, Jeannie, that's one thing, under the one proposal for moving the election to November, that movement could not be done if that passes.
That's right.
Because there's an example on, from doing business needs to be done.
Exactly. That's right.
And I believe, is today the day we start pre-voting, or is it next week?
The 30th.
The 30th.
Next
The
week.
30th starts walk-in voting. Yes.
But you know, when people ask, and they've asked all the time, what's your plan B?
There's no
There
plan
is
B.
not, there truly is not a plan B.
Can't afford Plan B.
Can't afford a plan B. This is it.
Any other announcements by any of the board members?
Candidate forum,
If not, what's that?
the candidate forum.
Oh,
yes.
candidate forum.
That's right. Thank you. Tomorrow evening, from 6:30 to 8:30 is the candidate forum at OMA for school board
And
candidates.
the school board will be first at 6:30.
Okay, good. Thank you for that.
At the auditorium. All right. Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved?
Been moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting. All those in favor, raise your right hand. That motion also passes 4.5 to 0.
4.5.
That's close enough. I think it was 6. I don't know.
Someone call Hutchinson and tell him that we're done in 55 minutes.
There you go.